Let's talk about the honorable harvest. Honorable harvest is a guide, a set of principles for how we can reciprocate for all that the plant world offers us. It is a tradition of giving thanks for everything the earth provides. These principles have been practiced for hundreds of years by indigenous communities, but have been forgotten by many in the modern world. The Honorable Harvest Guide has been shared as a teaching by Robin Wall Kimmerer, a Native American scientist, a botanist, who was raised with these principles. Every breath we take, and much of the food that we eat and the medicines that heal us come from the plant world. So how can we give back to them for their survival and protection? How can we honor those lives? First, we must know the plants. We must know their names and where they live and what they need to grow. This plant is a weed, but it's an edible weed. Hairy bittercress. It's from the mustard family, and the leaves add a little zip to a salad. It's important that we introduce ourselves to a plant that we want to harvest. That may sound silly to talk to the plant, but it's really just good manners. Tell it your name, and then ask permission to harvest. I would like to be able to enjoy you. Are you willing to share with me? How can you know if the plant is saying yes? Well, look around. Are there many of them? And do they look healthy? If not, that's a clear no. You might listen deeply in your heart for that answer. Or if your body leans toward the plant, that usually indicates yes. But if it leans away, that's a no. Another way to tell is if you gently tug on the leaves. If they come willingly, that's your yes answer. Another principle is never to take the first or the last of a plant. Look for the plants that have many to offer, and then never take more than half. That's conservation and helps the plant to survive and continue. Another important principle is to minimize harm. This pine tree is great medicine for the lungs. It helps with coughs and helps clear the lungs. You can make a fine tea with it by chopping the pine needles, boiling some water in a pan, and taking the pan off the stove, putting the chopped needles in, covering it for 10 minutes. Makes a lovely pine needle tea. If I want to harvest a sprig from this tree, I can just gently twist at the base of the sprig and it will pop off. In this way, I have not harmed the rest of the branch or the tree. It's also important to consider this when digging. Use a digging stick instead of a shovel so that you disturb fewer roots that way and help the plant's survival. Remember to use everything that you take from the plant. Do not waste, and share what you have harvested. You can share it with family or friends or even animals or birds. That bittercress that we saw earlier will be a great treat for my chickens. And most importantly, remember to be grateful. Say thank you to that plant for the gifts that it offered you. And then reciprocate the gift in some way. You might offer a little water, or maybe some food to the plant, some compost from your compost pile. Or if there's a lot of fallen branches or weeds around it, you could clear them away so that plant can get sunlight. Remember that if we sustain the ones who sustain us, the earth will continue to thrive. Enjoy your harvesting, and remember, honor your relatives.